Welcome to Crocodile MTG, your home of competitive, constructed play in the modern, standard, and legacy formats. Today's video was brought to you by all our wonderful sponsors, affiliates, and patrons. Thank you so much for supporting the Crocodile MTG channel, and we hope you enjoy today's video. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jordan with Crocodile MTG here, bringing you another Magic the Gathering video. Today we are going to play a Magic Core Set 2019 ranked draft. So we're going to go through the draft. If you want to skip ahead, I'll leave a whatever's called a time marker in the description below if you want to skip the draft and go right to the gameplay. Also, after the draft, I'll take a minute. I'll update the deck list, which is located on the right of the screen, and from there we will go into our matches, and that's where the timestamp will begin. Alright, let's go ahead and look at our first pack here. We have a Goreclaw Terror, which is creature spells you cast with power 4 or greater cost 2 less to cast, and then whenever a creature you control with power 4 or greater attacks, it gets +1/+1 and gains trample until end of turn. So a pretty powerful card there. We also have a Mirror Image, which you may have Mirror Image enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature you control. So that's pretty powerful as well. We also have a Skyrider Patrol, which at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay green and blue. And whenever you do, put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control, and that creature gains flying until end of turn. So this in the Goreclaw, the Skyrider and the Goreclaw, those are very powerful cards. The Mirror Image is pretty powerful also, but the Mirror Image also determines, also is based on how the rest of our draft goes. Give me 1 second, everyone. Apologize, I didn't want my AC kicking on in the middle of the recording here. Skyrider is honestly probably the most powerful of all of these. However, Goreclaw can, both of them have basically evasion, because Goreclaw can give things trample. Also cost reduction is pretty powerful. However, Skyrider is every single turn. It's evasion through the form of flying, plus grows your team, which can also be powerful. Plus, Skyrider has flying themselves. The rest of the pack here looks like your basic commons, uncommons. Rise from the Grave is also a good card, but it's normally a late game card. It's been a minute since I've drafted Core Set 2019. I don't remember exactly how fast and how powerful the draft set is. I think it's correct to take Skyrider here. The Goreclaw is powerful, but I think Skyrider's the best of this pack. Alright, so we have a Revitalize showing off the new art. It looks like Dragon Hordes are rare. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, get a gold count, or put a gold counter on Dragon's Horde, and then you can remove a gold counter to draw a card. You can also tap it to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So a little bit of mana fixing going on there. There's also Horizon Scholar, which is flying. When it enters the battlefield, you get the Scry 2. A Sift, which is draw 3, then discard a card for 4, which is kind of powerful. We're starting in blue-green. The rest of these kind of look like just typical cards. I don't think we want the Dragon's Horde, even though it'd be a powerful card to help us ramp up because you can add 1 mana of any color. I think what we want to take here is probably the Horizon Scholar. 4/4 flyer is pretty powerful in this format. We also have Sift, which is a possibility. I think it's the Horizon Scholar though. Alright, One with the Machine. So this is also rare. Draw a card equal to the highest converted mana cost among artifacts you control. So there's not a lot of artifacts, even though we've seen one in every pack. I don't think there's enough artifacts for one with the machine to be playable. It relies on us, one, finding the artifacts in our deck, and two, finding one with the machine. So we have some blue-green tap land here. So that's a little bit of fixing if we want it. We also have Snapping Drake, Anticipate. Leonin Vanguard's a pretty good card. I don't remember how good fixing is in M19. I don't think I want to go 3-color. I think I want to stick to 2 or even 1 splashing a second color if I can help it. With that being said, I think we want to go kind of these either blue-green kind of big stuff slash flyers, or maybe a blue-white flying deck. We haven't seen any white cards really with flying yet, but I think I'm going to take this Snapping Drake. Could be correct to take the land either. So land, Anticipate, Snapping Drake are one of the 3 cards I'd pick here. I think I'm just going to... I don't know. The creature's a common. I feel like the land's a little more uncommon. I guess I'm going to take the Drake here. Yeah, it looks like we're going to go into like this kind of flying package. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it gains +1/+1 until end of turn. We also have some powerful white cards in this pack. We also have Rock's Oracle, which is a good card. And it's in our green mana base. I don't want to commit too early. I want to leave myself open to a second color. It doesn't have to necessarily be green. However, the Skyrider's a pretty good card. So I think I'm going to take this Wind Mage out of this pack. I don't really see anything else I'd want to take. So I'm going to take this Wind Mage. Alright, so we got some green cards in this pack in the form of Druid of the Crowl and also Thornhide Wolves. We also have Luminous Bond, which is a good white card. We also have Salvager of Secrets, which when it enters the battlefield, return an instant or sorcery you control from your... instant or sorcery card from your graveyard and return that to your hand. So I don't think we want Wolves this early. The 2 cards I'm debating here are Luminous Bonds for that option to play white, or also Druid of the Cowl. Sorry, I butchered that one as well. Turn 3 Skyrider would be powerful, but I think Luminous Bonds as a removal spell is better. So I'm going to take the Luminous Bonds here and leave us open for white mana, which there's a blue-white land there. We also have Colossal Dreadmaw in this deck, or in this pack, that we can utilize if we're going that blue-green route. Explosives here isn't bad either. It's 2 damage to any target, so it can kind of finish off some of our opponent's creatures depending on what they have going on. I kind of want to just take the Colossal here. I know it's a meme card, but I vaguely remember M19 drafts Colossal Dreadmaw actually being really powerful. I don't think I want to take it this early, though. I feel like there's going to be another Dreadmaw. So it could be Titanic Growth here. Because we are going the evasion kind of beatdown route, and sometimes our creatures can get outmatched. Maybe it is just the Titanic Growth here. There's a Giant Spider, which is a good card. There's an Anticipate. There's also another Titanic Growth. I think we want to take the Giant Spider here, though. Alright, so there's not much in this pack for us. We have Wall of Vines, which I don't think is playable. I think the most playable card, if we decide to splash white, is Dwarven Priest. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life for each creature you control, and that's a pretty powerful effect. So I think I'm going to take Dwarven Priest here, and we'll see if we end up Bant, or if we end up cutting the white. The white so far, the 2 cards we got are pretty good, so it might be worth splashing. Here I think I'm going to take the... Is the Oaken form? Or Oaken form? It gives our creature +3/+3. We also have a Sentinel in this pack, which is a 2/2 for 2 with Vigilance, which is a pretty decent card. I guess we are kind of low on cheap things. I'm going to take the Oaken form in this pack. I feel like we can get some 2/2 bodies. Yeah, so this is a 2/1, and when it dies, I can gain some life. We also have a Revitalize in this pack, but I think we're just going to take the Highland Games. I think we're more of a beatdown deck. So as much as I want to take Anticipate here, this Woodland Stream cycled, so I'm going to take that. I don't really want Vines. I think I'm going to take Knight here, but I'm going to move it to our sideboard. I don't think that one's a playable if we're just splashing white. Here, I'm just going to take, I don't know, I don't care. Mind Rot, I guess. Put it on our side. I'll take Tolarian Scholar here because that might be playable. And we'll just throw the Swamp in the side. Alright, so we have Isareth. Is that how you pronounce that? Isareth the Awakener. Ooh, Psychic Corrosion. We also have Druid of the Horns, which pairs with our Awoken Horror. Whenever you cast an aura spell that targets Druid of the Horns, create a 3/3 beast token. So that could be interesting and possibly playable. There's also a Dwindle here. So target creature gets -6, -0, and whenever it blocks a creature, destroy it. Or whenever enchanted creature blocks, destroy it. So that's pretty powerful. So Dwindle, Psychic Corrosion, or Druid of the Horns is what I'm looking at in this pack. Also, ironically, it's the only blue-green cards in this pack. So Dwindle's a good removal spell. However, I think Druid of the Horns, if we find more Oaken forms or similar blue or green enchantments, I think that's going to be a good card and kind of a standalone card. And also, we kind of want enchantments if we're just going to be boosting our small flyers. So I'm going to take Druid of the Horns here in anticipation of more auras coming our way. Alright, this pack doesn't have much for us. I don't think we want Inspiring Charge because it's a double white card. We could take Angus. There's no N in there. Aegis of the Heavens. Correct my pronunciation there. I don't think we want that either. So as long as we control an artifact, it's a 2/2 for 1, which is good, but I don't think it's good enough. Destroy target creature with flying. That'd be good if we were playing best 2 out of 3, but we're only playing best of 1. Root Snare is not a bad card, but I think the pick here is just Sentinel. Alright, so looking through this pack, Psychic Symbiont is definitely a good card. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent discards a card, and you get to draw a card. That's a good card, however, we're not splashing black. That's not to say we can't splash black. It also has flying, which is appealing. As far as other creatures in this pack, or other cards in this pack, Essence Scatter stands out as it counters any creature spell, and also Bristling Boar. That's a pretty good card here. It's a 4/3, which a lot of the other creatures in this draft, they're not like three toughness is pretty good, if I remember correctly. Because I feel like we're running a lot of 2/2s or like 4/2s, and 3 toughness can block a lot of that. So I don't think we're going the black route. So as much as I like this card, I think we're going to take Essence Scatter over the Bristling Boar. Alright, so Herald of Faith. That's a good card. That's a 4/3 flyer for 5. And whenever it attacks, you get to gain 2 life. So that's Herald of Faith here. I don't think we want Tolarian Scholar or Dwarven Priest. I think I'm going to take Herald of Faith here. Some of these black cards are appealing, but I think Herald's the best out of everything here. Alright, so now we have Knight's Pledge, which is an aura. We also have a Rustwinged Falcon, which is a 1/2 flying bird. There's another Revitalize in this pack. There's also a Take Vengeance, which is destroy target tap creature. And that might actually be the pick here, because we don't have a lot of removal spell, and I feel like removal, if I remember correctly, is very scarce but very powerful in M19. So I'm gonna take the Knight's Vengeance, or I'm sorry, the Take Vengeance here. The Knight's Pledge is very appealing though, because we have the Druid of the Horns. But I think I just want the removal spell here. Alright, so we have some decent blue cards here. We have Bones in the Ash, which is counter target creature spell, draw a card, but that costs 4. We do have Ghost Form though, up to 2 target creatures can't be blocked this turn. And that's only for 2 mana, so that could be good. I wish it had like a draw effect on it. And then we also have a Snapping Drake here again. We're on pack 2. 17 potential cards right now. I'm going to put this sideboard. 16 potential cards right now going into our deck. I think the Ghost Form might be the most powerful if we're going for this beatdown plan. I'm going to take Ghost Form here. It can make 2 creatures unblockable. We'll see if it makes the cut. Totally Lost is in this pack. Put target non-land permanent on top of its owner's library. That's a pretty good card. Anticipate's also another good card. I don't think we want this Prodigy. I don't think we want this Root Snare. I think I'm going to take Totally Lost here. Alright, this pack, I think I want another Giant Spider. Again, Anticipate's in this pack, close second, but I think Giant Spider is powerful. It has a big butt, and it can block flyers. Alright, nothing really appealing in this pack, but I am going to take this Explosive because it is possibly playable if we get desperate enough. Alright, and again, not much standing out in this pack. I'm going to take Root Snare though. Alright, I'll take Swift Claw. I'm going to take Stitchers actually, because I'm not sure if I have a full play set, and I feel like that might be played in the upcoming set. Sovereign Bite's pretty good. Again, I don't think there's any cards here that we're missing. I'm going to take this Revitalize. I'll take the Infernal and a Swamp. Alright, so okay, I think this is a Snap Cleansing Nova. Ooh, there's also Sleep in this. We are more blue than we are white. I think the play might just be Sleep. Yeah, because I don't think we want to Rustwing. This Bristling Boar is down here. I think Sleep is the most powerful here. Cleansing Nova destroys all creatures, but Sleep is one-sided, where it taps all our opponent's creatures. Alright, we have this Twins here, so it can block an additional creature each combat, and it has Trample and is 7/7 for 7. However, I think our curve is kind of low for a 7 drop. Maybe it's not. I think it's low enough. So we have this divination here with this beautiful artwork. We also have the Seawood Serpent. I think it may be just divination here. Alright, I'm going to take this Branchwood Armor. I'm 80% sure without looking at tons of the other cards. It's an enchantment that gives whatever creature enchants +1/+1 for each forest you control. So I'm going to take that. It pairs also with our Druid of the Horns. Alright, here's another Totally Lost in this pack, which is good. However, we also have this Guide, which is a 3/2 for 3, and then you can pay 3, pay green and 2, and then target creature you control can't be blocked by other creatures with power 2 or less. We also have this Knight's Pledge. I think I want to take the Knight's Pledge here. Again, it pairs with our Druid of the Horns pretty well. Here's another enchantment that we can actually return. I don't think we want this Twins. We have Invoke the Divine here, and we also have a Rustwing Falcon. So I think these are the two cards I'm leaning towards. Creatures your opponent control gets -2/-0 until end of turn and draw a card. That's also a pretty good card. Alright, this gives Trample. Alright, I'm going to move this Titanic Growth over because I think this is the best. So if I wasn't picking this here, I think I'd pick Uncomfortable Chill. But Talons gives Trample and is a recurring enchantment, so I think that's powerful enough to put in our... Alright, and right there's an Uncomfortable Chill. So we're going to take Uncomfortable Chill here. Part of me here doesn't want another Oaken Form because we have these other enchantments floating around. So part of me just wants this mana fixing. Alright, I'm going to take this mana fixing. Alright, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. I feel like that's almost main deck playable. So I'm going to take the Rogue Gloves here. I'll take the Rustwing Falcon. Mana fixing. I'll take the Scholar here. I suppose the Dress is fine. We'll take an Invoke the Divine. Actually, I probably just want the 4th. Alright, so our mana I feel like is going to be pretty good in this deck. I'll put Mind Rot in our sideboard, and we got a 2-headed zombie. Alright, now to deck building. So if we're running 17 lands, which, let's see here. Hold on. So we want these also main deck. So 10, 17 lands. So Scholar's good, Totally Lost is good, this is fine. Do we really have that many white cards that... I feel like we're white mana heavy down here. What happens if we just cut the white cards? Our deck probably wouldn't be good enough, would it? Essence Scatter, Ghost Form. I don't know. We have a couple cards here we could put in the play. So I'm already running one Tolarian Scholar. I could run another. Let's just look what a blue-green deck would look like first. So let's take this Dwarven Priest and Herald out. And Luminous Bond. Okay, so now just a straight blue-green deck would be running a Tolarian Scholar, a Titanic Growth, and I guess a Root Snare. I don't feel like this deck would be very good. Yeah, because we're cutting 2 removal spells plus a enchantment. Yeah, I feel like our white cards are good enough to splash for. So let's go through. Essence Scatter I think we want. Ghost Form is a potential cut. Sentinel's fine. Highland Games is fine. Talons is good. Titanic Growth I think we can cut. That might come back in, so don't panic if you're like, don't cut the Titanic Growth. We have an Aven Wind Mage, which is good. Divination's good. Tolarian Scholar I think is good enough to play. I think there's a lot of 2/2s or 3/2s that this can block well. We also can pump it up with one of these enchantments, which is pretty powerful because like if we play a Tolarian Scholar and then an Oakwind form, it becomes a 5/6 on turn 4. Totally Lost is good enough to play. Alright, what was in here before? It was the 2... I added 1 Tolarian Scholar, 1 Titanic Growth, and then I never added the Root Snare. Okay, so what do we want from here? Luminous Bonds, Take Vengeance, Rustwing Falcon, Herald. I could also see playing this Revitalize, but being we're splashing, we want this Night's Edge. How deep does our... See, they're giving us 7 planes, and that's 10 of... Or, I mean, that's 7 lands, and then the other are just an even split. I guess. We have enough mana fixing. So if I were to cut something here... Maybe it's just going on this, like, flyer route. Maybe I just cut... I don't think this Sentinel... I don't know. Vigilance with these other things seems pretty good. I think I can cut Essence Scatter. I don't think I want to be leaving up Counter Magic. I kind of want to be a tap-out aggressive deck. And I guess Uncomfortable Chill can also be cut here. Sleep's good enough to play. Snapping Drake. Yeah, I think all these are enough standalone cards. And I don't want to cut lands here because I'm going up to, you know, 6 mana, 5 mana. Our average CMC, I think, is 3. Yeah, we have 7, so our average is 3.2. So I want to make sure I have all my lands. Alright, I think this is good enough to try out. We can always come back and edit it after game 1 if nothing works out the way we want it to. Alright, let's go ahead and let me go back and update our list, and then I will be back in 1 moment. Alright everyone, welcome back. My name is Jordan with Crocodile MTG. In case you skipped the draft, we drafted a Bant deck, and hopefully it's good enough where we will win a few matches, if not all our matches. So let's dive into this video. We are against Shakespeare themselves. So we're going to have to sadly mulligan this hand. We have plains galore, but we have no blue or green mana, so we're going to mulligan. Alright, this is better. Not much better, but we'll keep it. I'll keep that on top. We can at least Divination on 3 and hopefully not fall too far behind. So we'll start with that Woodland Stream that we drafted 4 of. Shakespeare looks like he's on a blue-black list. Alright, Child of Night coming down. So that's a pretty good card here. We're just going to have to pass the turn back. Hopefully our Tolarian Scholar will be pretty good. I'm apologizing here. I'm going to turn down my volume. I didn't know if you guys had to see that, but... Alright, so we're going to play out a Tolarian Scholar here. Next turn we'll play our Giant Spider. Hopefully that'll be good enough. Alright, that's unfortunate. We don't have any enchantment removal. We have some... we'll just leave it for now. Alright, we're going to play out our Giant Spider. We have some enchantment things, so we can actually be attacking through this eventually. Alright, so our opponent drafted a Reliquary Tower, so our opponent has no maximum hand size. Alright, we drew a Sleep. I don't think that's what we want here. I think we're going to start with the Divination. Alright, we drew a couple cards which are good. We're going to play out this Rogue Glove. And we'll just pass the turn back. I wish we had something that gave Vigilance. However, now we have something that has Trample, which is pretty good. And that paired with the Rogue Gloves is also a good card. We could Rogue Gloves here and then swing with the Giant Spider after sleeping our opponent's board. I think here, though, I just want to... Ah, this isn't what I thought it was. Alright, I think I'm just going to boost up our Giant Spider here. Hopefully our opponent doesn't draw a removal spell. That'd be rough on our Giant Spider. Next turn, I think we're going to sleep our opponent's board and swing in with the Rogue Gloves attached to the Giant Spider. Start drawing cards off of that. This is also as long as our opponent doesn't have a removal spell. Liliana from our opponent.
Not just fear, I'm respected. Well, they aren't useful to me alive.
Alright, so our game plan might be changing here. We might actually go and kill the Liliana. Yeah, and I think that's going to be our game plan here. We'll not waste our mana. We'll equip Giant Spider here to... Or equip the Rogue Gloves to our Giant Spider. And now we have totally lost in case our opponent follows up with something. But now at least their Liliana's gone. Alright, I'm going to start with attacking with our Giant Spider. Alright, now I'm going to play out this Falcon. And also the Snapping Drake. Alright, our opponent countered our spell here. We're just going to move the gloves onto the Rustwing Falcon. We're probably going to block with our Tolarian Scholar here. We'll probably just block the Pedicure. Alright, so Child of the Night getting a boost. so I'm gonna block here. And now hopefully our Rustwing Falcon's going to get us some cards. I don't want to get too aggressive here. So now we have a giant spider protecting our board. Alright, I'm going to swing in for 3. Draw a card here. Alright, we'll play the Woodland Streams and pass back. Again, we have this Totally Lost as kind of a defense mechanism. Remove the combat. Swing in here for 3. Just slowly whittle down our opponent's board. Alright, Skyrider is very good here. Skyrider is going to actually win us the game next turn because we can just give our giant spider flying. And if our opponent doesn't see that, then they're just going to end up losing here. Alright, so we're going to move the combat. We're going to pay blue-green. We're going to give our giant spider flying. And attack with everything. And good game, opponent. Alright, we're going to go up 2 on our rank. This is the first rank draft I've done since the season reset, so that's pretty exciting. We're going to claim our prizes and move up a win. We're going to go to match number 2. While waiting here, thank you so much to our sponsors at the top of the screen. You'll see manatraders.com, the best card rental service for Magic the Gathering Online and tabletop. If you sign up today, you get 3 months with 15% off using promo code Crocodile. So if you are interested in those services, go check them out. We also have Inked Gaming up there. You can receive 10% off your purchases. And also, I'm sorry, got tongue-tied. If you use our affiliate code on those, then we'll get you'll get 10% off, and we'll get I think it's like 4%, but we'll get a small portion of your purchase to the Crocodile MTG channel, so it's a good way to save yourself some money while also supporting us at Crocodile MTG. Alright, that gains first strike, so I'm not going to block it here. In addition, we have all our patrons. Thank you so much if you are a patron of the Crocodile MTG channel. Alright, that's going to trade. And we don't have any plays, so hopefully we can get a land. Alright, Courser's pretty good here. Alright, I'm going to play a Tolarian Scholar. This is going to get flying, so it's not going to matter too much. Hopefully we can play the Skyrider next turn. I'd really love a land. I'd also like to cast this giant spider, so if nothing else, that's rough. Alright, we're just going to play out this other Tolarian Scholar. I'm not going to attack. So we will let our opponent attack. This Field Creeper going to take down our life total. I think it's hit us quite a few turns in a row. Alright, in case our opponent has a removal spell, I'm going to play out this giant spider first. I don't want our opponent to be able to turn off our Skyrider here. So yeah, it looks like, yeah, Luminous Bond's coming down for our opponent. Alright, we're going down the 5, which is dangerous. And now we're going to play our Skyrider. Maybe I should... I'm going to play... I'm going to play Snapping Drake, because if our opponent swings with Pegasus, we might be able to kill the Pegasus. Another Luminous Bonds? Yep. Alright, we're going down to 2. Alright, we're going to play out our Skyrider Patrol. And I don't think this is good enough. So our opponent have the removal spell. Alright, our opponent with all the Luminous Bonds. And we stumbled a little bit on mana. So that is going to be the game. So good game, opponent. That was an unfortunate draw for us and a very good draw for our opponent. Move on to game number 3. We have 1 loss, 1 win so far. Our deck overall I think is pretty good. I just stumbled a little on mana there. Hopefully we can put up the results to prove that our deck is actually good. We're going to keep this hand. We have a Tolarian Scholar on turn 3. We also have a Luminous Bonds. And now we also have a Take Action. So I'm going to start with a Forest here. Then next turn I'll probably play a Plains. Yeah, I'm going to play a Plains here. Alright, Aven Skywind. So I'm going to start with a Tolarian Scholar. Alright, anticipate from our opponent. This is a Wizard. I believe this is the set with Wizard's Lightning as well, so we do have to be a little careful of that. Alright, Sleep isn't bad. So I'm going to start with a... What should I start with? Start with attacking, I guess. I'm going to play this Tolarian Scholar and then pass. Next turn I'll have this Luminous Bonds and Take Action I can work with. I can also play Blanchwood Armor if we draw a card. Alright, we have a Defender here. Alright, so I'm just going to play both here, I think. I'm going to start with the Luminous Bonds on the Sentinel. And I'm going to cast that on the Aven and then swing in for 4. So we also have Sleep and this Blanchwood Armor still in our hand. Now we have a 5/4 we got to worry about. Alright, there's a land. So we're going to play out this Herald. When our opponent attacks, we're going to double block with these Tolarian Scholars with the Fire Elemental, because one of our Tolarian Scholars is going to survive because they only have 5 attack, and we have 6 defense, and we also have 4 toughness, which is good enough to take out this Fire Elemental. We have 4 attack, which is going to defeat our Fire Elemental. That's what I meant. I do try to explain a little more thorough because I know some new players watch my content, so I don't want to... It might sound like I'm over-explaining people that have played the game for a while, but I just want to make sure. So we're going to double block, like I said prior. If our opponent has a spell here to boost their Fire Elemental, which it looks like they don't, they could have wiped out our Tolarian Scholars. But we're going to play Sleep on the Herald. I'm sorry, not Sleep. We're going to play Blanchwood Armor on the Herald. Move to combat. I think I want to attack with both. Swing for 8, gain 2. And then we have Sleep, so we'll end the turn. I thought about setting up a stream, so when we're playing Magic the Gathering Arena, we can stream it. So let me know if that'd be any interest to you. If it would, I'd probably do it every third Saturday and Sunday, and also... Alright, we're going to play this wood stream. I don't think we need to sleep right now. I'm just going to swing in with this Herald. We'll see if our opponent has a removal spell, and they don't. They do have this Catalyst, though, and that's going to be the game. Good game, opponent. If you'd be interested in watching me stream Magic the Gathering Arena live, that way you guys can interact with us, let me know down in the comments, because that's something I'm considering. But I'm looking to see if I'm going to have actual viewers on that. So let me know if you enjoy the content. We got a reward here, and it is a Umezawa. There we go. So claim that and go ahead and keep playing. Alright, so we go first and we have 2 planes in our hand. I don't think that's good enough to keep. I'm going to mulligan here. We have all our colors and we have tons of awesome stuff here. So we are going to keep this hand. We can go turn 3, Mage. Alright, I'm going to put this on the bottom. Herald's a good card, but I don't think it's quick enough for our current hand. We are playing against Peter Space Rabbit. Alright, we drew a Luminous Bonds too, which is really good. Alright, again, we're just going to play out the Wind Mage here. Alright, anticipate from our opponent. And Mind Rot. So, I think it's Giant Spider and Snapping Drake. I think I'm gonna go kind of all in on this Awoken form, and hopefully the 5/5 flyer can get us there. And then we have this Luminous Bonds as a removal spell. Alright, Sky Patrol. I'm going to start by moving the combat, because if our opponent just blocks here, then... It doesn't give permanent flying, so I'm just going to use it. I don't want to get Mind Rotted again. Alright, and one more turn for our opponent to find something here. Alright, and that's the game. So we went all in our 5/5 flyer and got awarded for it. Alright, we're at 1 loss and 3 wins. Let's keep this ball rolling. Once again, guys, go check out all our sponsors, Mana Traders, Inked Gaming, also our awesome patrons over on patreon.com. I wanted to let you know I am coming out with a token. So we have Inklin Customs coming to Crocodile MTG with her amazing art skills. And they are currently designing a token for us. So it's not going to be the current art we have on the channel, which I can make another token with that art if you'd be interested in that. But it is their custom art, which is really amazing. If you haven't seen them, I'd suggest going and checking them out. So as soon as that token's live, the only way you're going to be able to get it is through our Patreon account or meeting me in person. So those are the only 2 ways you can get them. So they are going to be very exclusive. We're going to mulligan this hand. And I think this one's going to be keepable with our Scry. So yeah, our tokens, go make sure you check them out if that is something you'd be interested in. I kind of want to keep this on top, even though we need lands. Maybe it is right. Let's just put this on the bottom. Look for our lands. We got paired up here. We're against a silver. Alright, we're going to start with attacking. And now we're going to play this woodland stream. We just got the announcement also from Star City Games that there's going to be an SCG Pittsburgh, which is a Team Modern event. So if you have any interest in coming to that, I will be at that. That is going to be one of the few events I'm going to actually be able to attend this year. So make sure you hit me up at the SCG Pittsburgh event. Magic... I forget who runs it. Channel Fireball? Do they run the main Magic events like the Magic Fests? Anyhow, Magic Fest used to be in Pittsburgh. They dropped Pittsburgh this year, and SCG picked them up. So super excited about that. Alright, that was very timely here. I think we're gonna play this Druid of the Horns, maybe. Yeah, we're gonna play this Druid of the Horns. Our opponent looks like they're on mono green. Hopefully we'll be able to find an enchantment here, other than our Luminous Bonds. But yeah, I will be at SCG Pittsburgh, so make sure you check that out. I believe it's June 20th, if I remember correctly. I should be at that. Alright, 6/8. That is a scary creature. Not trample, not vigilance. So we're going to block it here. We are going to actually get to destroy it, so that's pretty good. Ooh, I can make a... Alright, I'm going to... Yeah, we'll take 6 next turn. I'll start by making a 6/8 of my... Oh, that's a 5/6. Okay. Anyway. Our opponent has 1 mana open, and they're looking... Is there an untap spell that I'm not aware of? Oh gosh, I was scared there. Okay. So we have a 3/3 beast, which kind of looks like a monkey beast. Alright, at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. So we're going to take 7 here. And then I'm going to get rid of this. Alright, now we're going to move to combat and swing in. And our opponent's at 3, so they have to produce a creature here, or a way to remove one of our creatures. Alright, there is a 6/5, but that is not going to be good enough for the win. And we'll Luminous Bonds here, and that should be good enough. Alright, good game, opponent. Alright, we got another reward, and we got a Scrabbling Claw. So tap, target player exiles a card from their graveyard, pay 1 and sack it, exile target card from a graveyard, and you get to draw a card. Alright, 4 wins, 1 loss. Let's see if we can get 3 more. Alright, we're against Matt Elbright. And this hand is close enough to being keepable. And our opponent goes first. I'm going to keep it. We're going to be able to turn 1 Rustwing Falcon and go from there. We also have this Take Vengeance as a removal and Luminous Bond. So our hand overall isn't terrible. We also have this Blanchwood Armor in the later game, which should hopefully be good. And we'll see what our opponent has here. Okay, Bushido Pyromancer, so I'm not too concerned about that one. We have a Tolarian Scholar we're going to be able to play next turn. Alright, and a Line Breaker. Again, I think this Tolarian Scholar is going to be pretty good. I'm going to swing in for 1. And then we have Highland Game as well. Right, Pegasus is going to need killed. Or removed. Some way, shape, or form. So I think I'm going to play Luminous Bond this turn. Then swing in for 2. Or swing in for 1. Alright, 1-3 with lifelink. I'm not too worried about that one. I'll block Line Breaker here. Keep our life total pretty high. Yeah, I think I'm just going to follow up with another Tolarian Scholar and swing in for 1. We just beat them down with this Rustwing. That'd be pretty funny. Alright, we're going to block here. So we're going to be able to take Vengeance and Highland Game. Alright, there's our 4th land as well, which is pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to kill that. I'm going to move the combat and swing 3. Then I'm going to play Highland Game post-combat. Next turn we're going to be able to play Herald. And we can play Blanchwood Armor. It doesn't do anything though, currently. Alright, so we're going to move the combat. Swing with everything. Alright, our opponent's going to block. We're going to gain 2 life. And now we're going to play out this Herald. Our opponent's definitely on the back foot here. Alright, they got Luminous Bonds, which is fine. I'm going to swing for 3. We have totally lost in case we want to put this Herald back on top of our library. But I think at this point we just want to keep protecting our board best we can. So there's a forest, so now I'm not obligated, but I'm enticed to swing for 4. So if we had one more land there, we could have totally lost the Luminous Bonds, which I think it's worth doing here. And just, I think this wins the game. Gonna gain 2, yep, and that is the game. Great game, Matt. I feel like our deck is pretty balanced between power and aggression. Alright, we got a pack to open at the end of this, and we got 50 coins. Again, thank you so much, viewers, for tuning in and watching this. We're just kind of laid back, having some fun with an M19 draft. Our opponent goes first. This hand is probably mulliganable, but I think, being that we're on the draw, I think it's going to be keepable. We have a couple 3-drops. Alright, there's our 3rd land, so this was actually pretty good. So, for 2, they can gain and drain us. So they gain 1 and we lose 1. Alright. So a couple turns of losing life and our opponent gaining life. Hopefully we're going to be able to fight back with a pretty aggressive. Alright, Omen Speaker. I'm not afraid of that one. 1 card on top, 1 card on bottom. They got the Scry too when it entered. We're going to play out this forest. Alright, another vampire there. And another Omen Speaker. This is a little bit wild from our opponent. So I think I'm going to just play out this Wind Mage here and just fly over our opponent's board. Next turn I think I want to play out this Giant Spider. and then just be mana efficient from here on out. So our opponent definitely has things they can invest mana into, and they're going to definitely keep up the pressure on us here. We're going to be able to block one here. Alright, 4-2 with Menace. We also have a Sleep, but we can't play it yet. I guess I start by attacking. And I think I just play this Giant Spider for mana efficiency. This has Menace, so we have to be aware of that. We're going to block a Omen Speaker here. Another Omen Speaker from our opponent. It's almost as good as Divination, if not better. You get the Scry too, so you get to fix all your draw steps. And then you also get to 1/3 body, which is good. So I was going to play Herald this turn. Part of me wants to play this Woodland Streams in case I need to tap down our opponent's board. I guess at this point I can play Tolarian Scholar and then Woodland Streams. I think I'm still going to swing with Wind Mage here. We definitely don't want to lose to this two-headed zombie. Alright, so flying, and you get to sacrifice another creature and put a 1/1 counter on it. So that is a pretty good card. I definitely want to play the Herald Speaker here. Herald of Faith. I don't know why I said Herald Speaker. And then next turn we'll have Sleep and Knight's Pledge, which will be good. So we don't want to swing into this Harpy because it's going to be a 2/3 if our opponent uses the mana to sacrifice a creature. Alright. And they got a colorless Thopter. So tapping all our opponent's board next turn is definitely going to be a good play. And then being able to play this Knight's Pledge is also going to be good. We'll see how they attack this turn, though. Oh, and they choose not to. So that's actually really good for us. Yeah, so I think we want to sleep this turn. And then I think the play is Knight's Pledge on Herald of Faith. So 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Our opponent will have one turn to draw something. And then we're going to be swinging back for quite a bit. Yeah, so I'm going to Knight's Pledge this turn. Alright, we'll see what our opponent does here. Alright, I'm going to Knight's Pledge on a Herald of Faith. And then I'll move to combat and swing. This doesn't have an untap clause, right? No. Attack all. So we're going to be hitting for 11 this turn? No, 13. So putting our opponent to 4. Our opponent's going to have one turn to draw something. Alright, and that's the game. Once again, guys, a huge shout out. Thank you so much for viewing my content. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are having fun. I feel like this draft overall is going pretty well. A huge shout out and thank you to all our sponsors. We're going to look at this award real quick. Boom. We have a Navigator's Ruin, which is a 3-drop enchantment that has Raid. At the beginning of your end step, if you attacked with a creature this turn, target opponent puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard. So this is a neat little little mill enchantment. It can be very powerful in the right build. And we are one game away from getting a huge reward. We're currently 6-1. We need one more win and not 2 more losses to win. Getting a little tongue-tied. It's been late in the day. I haven't had dinner. I'm tired. My girlfriend and I are very excited. We're moving into a new apartment in about a month and a half. So we recently signed the lease to our new apartment, and we've been kind of running rampant, packing. I know it's 2 months out, but we're very busy people, so we're packing early, getting ready for all that. We're paired up again. We're going against a gold member this time. And this hand is good enough. We're going to keep it. So start with a woodland stream. Hopefully we're going to be able to take this one down as well. Alright, lifelink from our opponent. And we're just going to pass the turn back. Looks like our opponent's on a Bros build. I'm going to play this forest, and then I'm going to play Drake. Alright, move the combat. I'm going to swing 3, and then I'm going to play Herald of Faith. So we have a very quick, aggressive start here. If we draw either a island or a forest next turn, I can play Skyrider and use its pump ability. So Mentor the Meek's going to get in here. It looks like it got +2/+0 and first strike, so we're not going to block it here. Alright, and there it is. So we're going to play Skyrider Patrol, move to combat. We're going to pay blue and a green. We're going to pump up our Herald of Faith and swing in. We're going to gain 2. And this is actually lethal next turn if our opponent has nothing. So we'll see what our opponent has here. I'm going to just not block because I don't want to get blown out of the water. Our opponent's at 11. Alright, destroy all creatures. That was very good from our opponent. So I'm going to... Let's see. I can either make a 4/4 flyer, or I can... This is the more mana efficient play. So I'm going to play Druid of the Horns and then give it Blanchwood Armor. And make a 3/3. And hopefully our opponent doesn't have a huge monstrous permanent coming down. Alright, it looks like they have a couple 2/2s. We're going to start by moving the combat. Our opponent down to 5. We're going to play this Horizon Scholar. Both these cards, I think, are okay. They're not very powerful, but we kind of already played all our powerful cards. I think we just want things, and I think that's fine. Alright, we'll see what our opponent has here, and that is the game. We just went 7-1 in a 2019 Ravnica, not Ravnica Allegiance, 2019 draft. Started saying Ravnica Allegiance. Used to playing that all last week. We're going to claim award, and we're going to claim all our awards here. And now we're going to move over and open all our packs that we won. So I'm going to start with this Ravnica Allegiance pack because we won that one first. Alright, it looks like a rare behind here. Looking at the rest of the pack, Drill Bit's probably the best card in it. And the rare is Prime Speaker Xanathar. So Prime Speaker has an ability that says sack a creature, search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to the sacrificed equal to 1 plus the sacrifice creature's converted mana cost. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. So in this example, if we had Prime Speaker out and we had Homunculus out, we could sacrifice Homunculus to Prime Speaker's ability and go get Scuttle Gator from which is a crocodile. It's a crab turtle crocodile. We can get Scuttle Gator if we wanted it out of our library and put it on the battlefield, because Homunculus's converted mana cost is 5 in the top right corner there, and then Scuttle Gator's is 6, which is 1 plus the sacrifice creature's power. Moving on to the core set 2019 cards. We got an uncommon wild card, which is good. We have a Rustwing Falcon here, Ghost Form, and our rare. Ooh, what is this? It is an Elder Dragon. I don't even know how to pronounce the name. I'm just going to call him the Dire. So it has green, red, and black, and 3 colorless, flying. Whenever this card attacks, for each player, choose target permanent that player controls. Those players sacrifice those permanents. Each player who sacrifices a permanent this way reveals the top card of their library, then puts it onto the battlefield if it is a permanent card. So that is actually some wild dragon going on there. Our other core set 2019 pack has, Skyrider Patrol, which is a great card, Wall of Mist, and the rare is a Demon of Catastrophes. So as an additional cost, sacrifice a creature. It is a 4 CMC flying trample 6/6 demon. So this is a good card also. Since it's a demon, maybe Liliana's Contract would be playable, which is, Liliana's Contract is like if you control 4 demons of different names, you just win the game at your upkeep or end step or something. So that could be a powerful card. I was speculating that when Ravnica Allegiance came out, maybe if there's a few more demons in the War of the Sparks, maybe that Liliana's Contract card will be playable. But yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all to our sponsors, Mana Traders, Inked Gaming, and all our patrons. If you would like to support the Crocodile MTG channel, please head over to our Patreon. If you'd like to donate there, we're going to be giving you awards. I mentioned earlier that we're going to have an Inkling Customs token coming out pretty soon. And the only way you can get that is either 1, meeting me in person, or 2, being a patron of our Patreon page. I will update that as soon as the token comes out. And without further ado, thank you all so much for watching, and have a nice rest of your day, evening, night, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Please go hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed today's video. For your custom playmats, mouse pads, and more, head over to Inked Gaming. Use promo code crocodilemtg10 to receive 10% off your order. Today's video was brought to you by all our wonderful sponsors, affiliates, and patrons.